Hello and welcome to the Messages and Methods Livecast Live 2.0 live stream podcast hosted by Encore entrepreneurs Shelley, Carney, and Toby Younis. We inspire excitement for content creation and marketing your brand and business while answering all your technology and digital marketing questions. Join us as we interview experts who share their knowledge and experience to provide actionable tips to land more clients, nurture leads, and position yourself as an expert in your industry. Chat with Shelley and Toby live every Wednesday on YouTube or Facebook. Hello and welcome to Messages and Methods. I'm your host, Shelley Carney. Tonight we're going to be talking about a scheduling app and what that is and why you might want to have one.
And I'm your co-host, Toby Younis, and I'm going to be doing the demo. So if you have any questions about this product, that when we get into the demo, please feel free to ask them in the chat, and I'll make sure we get them answered before we get out of here tonight, this afternoon. I do want to mention that we're going to be on later tonight, 7 o'clock, with news and views. We're talking about what's happening in the news right now. So if you'd like to join us then, you're perfectly welcome to do it. Same channel, just a different time.
That's right.
You have any announcements for the show, or are all announcements going to be in the next program?
I'm good for announcements.
All right. You ready for presentation then?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Hit it.
All right. Part of the livecast lifestyle is scheduling appointments with people, whether that's a client or a guest for your show or just somebody you want to have coffee with. It's great to have a scheduling app to help you out with that. And we're going to talk about that some more today.
So the scheduling app is something that over the years has changed. There was a point at which we did it on calendars. I remember desktop calendars that we use for scheduling apps, and then we used the smaller calendars,
and then the Filofax,
and then the Filofax, and then eventually we started automating it. We got all these tools. Outlook, I remember, had a calendaring option. Of course, Gmail has a calendaring option that does give you the opportunity to schedule, but it doesn't. It's kind of designed so that you can schedule your own things. They are not designed. They're generally speaking not designed so that you enable your client to schedule with you. And then, of course, post it to your calendar. So as you guys know, I'm a big fan of the Google products. So I use Gmail, I use Google Calendar, I use Google Contacts. And the reason I like them so much is that they're so integrated. For example, in the integration that I have with Shelley, when she posts something to her calendar and shares it with me, it posts to my calendar as well. So if she has a special telephone call that she wants me to do with her and somebody else, she puts it on there, it shows up on my calendar. That still doesn't give access to the people that we deal with outside our little circle of friends and relatives. So this is where that scheduling app fits so nicely.
So what is a scheduling app? Well, it is an application that allows you to integrate people making appointments with your online calendar. And again, we both use Google Calendars, which I spend a lot of time with. I have tasks every day that I look at and think about and work on. And there's certain things that happen every week that are on my calendar. And then things that are unusual that pop up that I put on there. Clients can schedule appointments on your calendar in any designated free time. So if you're using one of these apps, you designate, I'm going to offer appointments from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. And if you don't have anything else blocking out the times, then somebody can come in and make an appointment with you for that time. You can offer multiple appointment types, such as a 1 hour, 15-minute, a 30-minute. It could be a Zoom call. It could be, an in-person call. Just depends on what it is that you're offering. And why don't you take over from there?
So one of the nice things about it is that you can have not only multiple appointment types, but you can make multiple calendars. So for example, you could have a calendar for Shelley's appointments, a calendar for Toby's appointments. Now, we're hesitant to do that since a lot of times Shelley's appointments overlap mine and vice versa. But if you had several salespeople, each who wanted to maintain a different calendar, and then it was integrated on your calendar, several salespeople working for you, and each one of them had a separate calendar, but then you wanted to integrate it on your calendar, then that is a good way to track their activity as well. So not only do you get multiple appointment types for Joe Smith and another appointment type for Debbie Chavez. Wow, I managed to get a lot in there, huh? Joe Smith and Debbie Chavez. Did you say that?
Mhm.
I'm good.
Names.
Names, yeah. So it gives you the opportunity for a great deal of flexibility and diversity in your scheduling activities.
So that's the app. Scheduling app what? Now, scheduling app who? Who should be using the scheduling app? Well, definitely all small business owners are going to want to use some kind of a scheduling app. Consultants who make appointments with people to meet about things and to coach them. But really, anybody who meets with others regularly, if even if you're just a networker and you like to set up appointments with people to have coffee or visit with people about one thing or another, you're going to want a scheduling app because it's just going to save you a lot of time. So get one. A lot of them are free.
Get
so
one.
Get one.
There are free ones. We're going to show you one that we made a what's referred to as a lifetime purchase with, because it provided everything that we needed. It's a one-time payment, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. But one of my East Coast daughters use a scheduling app to schedule their visits with one another. They travel so much up and down the coast. They'd like to know who's going to be where and when so that they can track each other. They don't use the same one. They use something called Calendly, but they use a calendaring app to manage their family travels. I have to take care of something. So could you go to the next slide? I'll be gone for 30 seconds. All right.
Mm-hmm. So here's the why. Scheduling app. Why do a scheduling app? Well, it saves you time going back and forth, trying to find a time that works for both parties. If somebody's trying to make an appointment with you and they say, I have some time on Monday and I have some time on Wednesday, but Tuesdays maybe not so good, you can just say, here's my link to my scheduling app. Why don't you go ahead and schedule something? That way, there's not that whole trying to figure out when you can meet and what's going to work for both of you. They can look at your app, your schedule, find a time on your calendar that works for them and just make that appointment. And then if they would need to make any changes to that, they can take care of that without having to get a hold of you first to do that. They can go back to that original appointment and they can make a change, or they can cancel it if they need to, and then they could just type a little excuse in there as to what had happened that they needed to do that. It automatically sends reminders to you and your guest. You can integrate it with your calendar so that it will appear on your calendar, and it sends you emails. So you will get those reminders. Some of the apps even will send a text message if you set it up for that. So it doesn't let people forget. Once they've made that appointment, they're reminded again and again so that they show up. And that's the whole reason we're doing this, is to get people to show up at the same place and time to make things happen, right? And all the meeting info is in one place. You have that one app, those emails, but you can just go into that app and you can look, okay, what's going on in my schedule today, and it will show you all your appointments for the day and for the next 30 days if you want to look at it that way. So all that information is in that one place, and then you can look up, okay, this person made an appointment. Who are they? What do they want to talk about? What's their phone number? What's their email? And you have all that information right there in one place.
And you have the flexibility to enter the numbers and types of questions that you need to ask an individual. So if an individual is calling us about scheduling an appointment on our show, he or she wants to be on our show, we ask them a completely different set of questions and have a different set of requirements for them than if someone calls. We're always making the offer that if you need a 1-hour conference on the things that we know what we're talking about and you'd just like to talk, we'd like to know besides your name, your email address, and your phone number, and whether or not you're on our email list. So we ask a completely different set of questions. And the calendaring app will, most of them, the one that we'll show you today, provide you the flexibility to add those kinds of questions that you can ask the person before you actually sit down and talk with them.
So when should you get a scheduling app? Well, we believe you should set one up as soon as you're ready to start taking appointments. And that could be when you're ready to do free consultations or paid coaching calls or just meeting up with people either online or in person.
And we do. Some people feel like, I'm going to take an hour of your time and I know it's important and we're going to start from scratch. I would like to pay you for that amount of time. So part of these, the features, one of the features of the calendaring app is that if you wanted to set up an appointment that they have to pay for in advance, you can do that. And it uses PayPal or Square or a number of other payment processing applications to take their credit or debit card so that they can pay you for the 1 hour that that they want to take of your time. Now, you don't have to do that. As a matter of fact, the free hour of consulting that we offer folks is indeed a free hour of consulting. We don't charge you for that, as long as we stay on the topics that we're familiar with, because we'd like to know what's going on. So that's another good feature, that if you're a time-based digital business, you can charge for those hours that you're spending. The scheduling app enables you to do that.
That's right. So which one are you going to get? There are so many out there that are available. Toby and I both used Calendly. We used Once Hub, which is also called Schedule Once. And we are trying a new one now. And the most important part is that when you switch apps is that you turn off the old one when you turn on the new one, so that people aren't making multiple appointments on 2 different apps. And although these are all very similar in what they provide, we prefer to own rather than rent. So we'll tell you about what we chose.
So that little eye thing that she did right there was because when we transitioned over to our new scheduling app, I forgot to turn off the old scheduling app because I had set up the URL to go to the new one, but somebody found it and made an appointment with us that was no longer a viable way to make an appointment with us, a viable time for us. So I had to fix that. I had to apologize to the gentleman and point him to our new scheduling app, hoping that he wouldn't be not upset.
So if you ever go to make an appointment with us and you go to the link that we used to offer, and you might get to a page that says we're no longer here, but it will give you a link to go to the correct place.
Yeah, and we're gonna show you those. I'll put them in the chat room so that you guys have them. But again, what you're getting here is the benefit of us having tried out several different products until we landed on one that not only met our criteria, but we didn't have to pay a monthly subscription for. We could buy it, buy it all at once. Lifetime subscription, includes updates, etc. And that way I don't have to worry about a monthly subscription. This one is going to be paid off in for the equivalent of 4 months for the previous one, in comparison to the previous one that we had.
So we recommend, once again, appsumo.com for applications. And the calendaring app we chose was called TidyCal and is a AppSumo original that they created. And it integrates well with the other things that they created, like SendFox. So we're looking at things that integrate well together. So that we can, like, if somebody makes a appointment with us on the calendar, then we should be able to take their email information and put that into our email listing application so that we don't have to do any extra steps to get them on our email list.
So before I go into the demo, what I'm going to post in the chat room first is, if you want to schedule an hour of free time with us to discuss.
Where's our crawl?
Oh,
maybe it's in the.
Is it in the crawl?
I don't know. We don't have it up though.
Women There we go.
There we go.
How's that?
Thank you.
Okay, so let me go to this. So if you want to make an appointment with us, that's for an hour of free consultation, go to
calendar.agkmedia.studio.
Right. And if you want to be a guest, you're a digital marketing specialist in one area or the other, and you'd like to join us on our show one day, go to journey.agkmedia.studio. Okay. I just wanted to make sure those were in the chat room. So let's go to the demo. Pop in here. We're going to go to our demo screen, which is right in front of me. So if you see me looking over in this direction, I'm just looking at the screen. So this is the product that we selected. It's appsumo.com and the TidyCal product, although for the first 2 weeks I called it TidyCat because I knew there was a product. It only cost us $29, and that's a lifetime subscription with all these features. You'll see a video on it. That's the first thing that they do. Calendar integration, Google account, 365 account, Apple account, and then it shows you some samples, and we're going to take you and help you do a couple of those. One of the other things that you can do is if you have a website where you have a lot of traffic, you can actually embed the calendar in that. So if they were to click on make an appointment, the calendaring app would pop up inside your website. You wouldn't have to build an extra page for it. It's automatic. Okay, so then all the Q&A, the plans are license tier 1, 10 calendar connections, free and paid meetings, reduced branding. So the important one is that second one, free and paid meetings. So that again, if you, I said again twice in one paragraph, that's not good. So if you wanted to charge for your consultation, let's say you're a coach of some kind, a sales coach, and you want to charge for your consultation, that'll integrate. It integrates with all the kind of payment services like Square, PayPal, etc., so that you can have available to it. So let me show you a little bit about the app. The first thing that you have are the booking types, and it gives you a couple of basic ones. Right here, you can see that it provides you a 15-minute meeting and a 30-minute meeting, and it provides links for that. You can also see right here that I've turned these off. We're not using those. What we are using is the video conference. Booking is on. It's 60 minutes, a video conference of up to 1 hour. And this is how we present it to the client when they show up. You talk, we listen. Together, we'll come up with a plan to help you achieve your vision. And we haven't embedded this on our website. We don't need to. We just send as those 2 links that I sent you. And then if you want to be a guest on Messages and Methods, it's 60 minutes and it has the specific times. And it tells you to select a day and time to appear. And then we ask you to fill out the subject information form and the talent release form. We don't proceed. We don't move until they've filled out these 2 forms because we want to know, we want to know more about them. And we've given you the talent release form speech many times before. Don't do an interview. Don't do a conversation. Don't do anything where you're going to involve someone in creating content that will ultimately belong to you when you haven't asked for a talent release. We've never had a problem with anyone signing the talent release. And this is a digital signature, but it was developed in a way that the digital signature is good enough. So I'll show you a couple of examples. This is the video conference one. And you can see up at the top here, you can see, can I open this window any further? Yeah, I can't at the top. So right up here, you can see it goes up to a TidyCal URL that it creates itself when we tell it what kind of we're doing. But we convert that in using our subdomain to Journey. Oh, I'm sorry, not Journey. Wow, look at that. Getting into code, buddy. Let me go back here. So we convert that into video conference, which is just calendar.agkmedia.studio. And if you do go there, let me see if we can do that without. So we're going to go to calendar. No, it's not going to let me do that.
Open a new window.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. That's what I'm going to have to do. So just give me a second while I open that window and I drag it over there.
Or not.
Is there something I don't know about my keyboard right now?
I don't know. You stop your sharing. I don't know if that's causing a problem.
Because
anyway,
I'm sharing.
We told them. Journey.agkmedia.studio to be a guest. And that's on the crawl going across the screen. What's happening?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure that out.
okay. So if you would want to make an appointment with us, it's just typing in calendar.agkmedia.studio, and then you find a time that works for you that is available. And you can tell which days are available because they have what circles around.
Highlights. They have circle and then the highlight as you come on. So if you wanted to make an appointment with us tomorrow, let's say, well, let's move it out to the 31st. You want to make an appointment on the 31st, you click on that and it shows you the times that are available on the 31st. So if you click on, let's say I want to meet with you guys at 12 p.m., then it asks for a confirmation, your name, your email, what's the best phone number. Oh, I think that's what was wrong. What's the best phone number at which to reach you? What's the topic of the conversation? And how did you find us? So we asked some real simple questions about, whether or not you want to, what you want to talk about, and how we can move forward from there. So it's real simple to do it. I'm not going to book the event because it'll show up and it'll close up that spot, but it doesn't make any difference. Now, the nice thing about this is the calendar will handle putting these times and days out there um, uh, for 60 days. So if I were to go to June and see the days available in June, you'll see a lot more days. Those are our meeting days. Those are the days that Shelley and I are together. And so we know we can do meetings on those days together. Although if we had to, we could probably, zoom in various people, but I can go out as far as, let's click on here. Is that 60 days?
30 days.
30 days. Maybe it's 30
I
days.
think it was set for 30 days.
Yeah, 30 days.
And then
we
you're
set
going
it
on
for.
vacation anyways.
Right. So if I wanted one on June 23rd, same thing. It's going to pop open. I would select the time and it'll schedule 60 minutes. If someone has selected a time that is shorter than 60 minutes in front of you, it shuts down that time. So you can't schedule yourself over anyone else. So it works out very nicely. The same is true for if you want to be a guest on our show. Now you can see there's greater limitations here about the days and times. Our shows are on Wednesday. The next available one is in June. We have one set up for the 8th, and I'm going to show you how that looks to us in just a moment. But when you do that, it asks you for this information. Let's say I want to visit on the 15th. It says only 5 p.m. That's when our show is for 60 minutes at 5 p.m. on the 16th. And when you click on that, it asks for a different set of information. You want to be a guest on Messages and Methods. We want to know your name and your email, but we also want you to go and fill out this information right here. And when you get a confirmation email that says your booking is complete, it gives you those links again so that you can go and fill out those forms that we ask in advance. Those forms are on another product that we're going to see next week called Formally, and they're automatic. It formally gives me the ability to build whatever form I want, and then to have that form, once completed, sent to my email and Shelley's email. So if I go back here to TidyCal, and I'm sorry, not there, but booking type. So it's real easy to create a booking type. I can just click on the button here, and I'm going to close this window because it is not responding to anything that I do with a mouse or keyboard. Let me see. Okay, so
window.
It's in a new window. Create a booking type. All right. So the first thing I can do is give it a title. If I wanted to set up a special URL for it, I can put the special URL here. I usually let TidyCal put that URL, and then I copy that URL and I take it to my domain and I create a subdomain for that URL. The description is what appears on the side. Remember, I showed you over here. Let's see. Right there. So the description is all of this stuff that's appearing on the site. So I can add that here. And then, so I can group bookings. So I could have up to, let's say you had 3 people that wanted to meet with us at one time. I could group it so you can add up to 2 other people in the booking, how long it's for, the duration, the padding on either side. So that basically means if I schedule something for 60 minutes, pad 10 minutes on either side, so I can't allow anyone to book over it. Now, I usually make that 60 minutes on each side so that there's at least separation, so we're not doing bookings, continuous bookings in a day. And then I can show it up to 60 days ahead, and I can set that to any date I want. With the individual bookings, our consulting bookings, we change that to 30, and then I can select the days and times that that I want to book. And if it's something unique, like a Monday from 10 to 12, and then again from 3 to 5, then I would add windows to do that so that it would set up those bookings. And then down at the bottom here, I have questions that I can ask about the booking. Well, you know, I have, what's your name, what's your email address, what's a phone number that we can reach you at, etc. So I have all the information to complete the booking, which makes it very easy to do. And once you've done one and you look at it, you see how it creates it on the page. It gets real easy to, you know, so we have multiple bookings. We have one for our show. We have one for consultation. We're setting one up this week for paid consultation. So if you want to get into detail, or you want a second consultation, we'll ask you to schedule another hour under the paid, 1 hour free. After that, it's a paid consultation, excuse me. And then when I create the booking type, it will add it to the list of bookings. So the bookings here are the things that you already have scheduled. So if you open that up, it shows what you have scheduled. Accept limits, it's going to go right here. So the only one we have outstanding right now is the gentleman that's appearing with us on June 8th. And I can look at that booking type, and it provides me all the information I need. Right. Let's see. So this is creating new windows every time I do this, and it's very difficult to find. So I apologize for that. Yeah. Yeah, now it's not doing it. Okay. There's my booking. Let me see if I pop it open in a new tab. See, there we go. So if I want to edit the booking, I can make all the changes that I want there. But I get all that information with them, and I'll bring this down so you guys can see it. Booking types, bookings, and then integrations is where you've integrated with other calendars and other capabilities. So we know that we're integrated with my calendar, with Shelley's calendar, and with the AGK Media Studio Google Calendar, and anything else that we would like to be in it. We would like it to be integrated with. Now, I did want to show you one other thing, because not only do we get emails every time somebody creates a booking, we get an email saying a booking has just been created. But here's a sample. It also posts it to our calendar. And if they have a Google Calendar, Google, Microsoft 365, or Apple Calendar, it posts it to their calendar as well. In addition to that, if it's not a guest meeting, if it's somebody that's not going to be on our show, it actually creates a Zoom conference for it, so they know where to go to, and it advises them 1 day in advance, 1 hour in advance, and at the time the meeting's supposed to start, and it provides them all this information. And again, there's that additional information that it sends to them in an email. Please fill out this form, the talent release, the notes that we have, and then it provides them the opportunity to reschedule or cancel. So if it comes time that they realize I can't be there, they can click on this button, go to the TidyCal app, go to that booking, and either change it or cancel it. And again, we get email. If it's a cancellation, we get an email saying it's been canceled and it's taken off our calendar. So the integration between the scheduling app and your calendaring app is tremendously important. And what makes this so valuable, because you can't ignore the fact that the scheduling app is not only posting to your calendar, it's posting to your calendar, to my calendar, Shelley's calendar, and our joint calendar at HK Media Studio, where Shelley and I are getting emails saying a new booking has just been created. So if I see it, when the next time Shelley and I talk, we look at all those bookings. Are we going to be in town, et cetera, et cetera? So that, and now that Shelley's traveling over the next couple or more months, she'll get an email and she'll have the tools, because we're going to set that up this weekend, to be able to be part of that, even though we're not in the same location. So, but the fact that the scheduling app handles all of that for us is what makes it so great. We love this particular app, and it was only $29 lifetime deal with all the upgrades included. And I don't know what else they could add to a scheduling app that would help us any more than they have already. If they added a form, an ability to create a form so I could put my forms in my scheduling app, I'd love that, but I don't see the need right now. Okay. So let's go back here and go back one more. Did I miss anything on the demo?
No.
No, got it all. All right.
As far as I know.
So we do want to remind you, and I'll put this link in. Oh, I can't do it from there. Actually, I think I included it. It's in the banner, in the crawl below. So if you go to AppSumo and you use the link that we're providing you right here, which is our AppSumo account, you get a $10 discount. So you can buy this $29 product for $19 if you use this link.
If you're a first time.
If you're a first time buyer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you're a first time buyer. So I will put it in the description box below as well. Okay. Mm-hmm.
We published a book on Amazon called Livecast Life, the Content Creator Lifestyle. And part of that lifestyle is offering consultations and discovery calls, meeting with your prospective clients and prospective collaborators, or lots of other people. I mean, there's a lot of other people that you might be meeting with, that, vendors, people who want to work with you as a sponsor. There's a lot of people who might want to work with you. So having that scheduling app makes that a lot simpler, and it makes you look professional when all you do is say, oh, well, here's my link. Go ahead and schedule time with me. And they can take over from there.
And it works both ways. You may have somebody calling you about, the potential, as Shelley said, for sponsorship. And you can either work that out. Well, let's start working it out. Let me find out when Shelley's available. Let me find out when I'm available, match it with yours. And you end up in this email kind of wraparound that takes more time than it's worth to do the schedule. With this, as Shelley said, when somebody calls with something like that, if you're not promoting the call like we have with our other services, you can say, here's my scheduling app. Just go there and find a time that's convenient for you, me, and Shelley, or Shelley and me. Did I say that right? Or
Sure.
Okay. So it makes it a lot easier on them, and it saves them time, and it saves you time and frustration. And it's so easy. Like I said, the minute they schedule, Shelley and I both get emails saying somebody just scheduled an appointment with you. Yeah. And if we have time when we're not in pocket, like I'm going to be traveling to visit family on the East Coast in July, I'll make those dates unavailable. And so nobody can schedule while I'm traveling. But I'll push it out however long I'm going to be gone, and that way they can make it afterwards. So
that's right. Now, if you're a podcaster and you want guests to schedule with you, you definitely want to have a scheduling app so that guests can easily choose a time and day to work with you, especially if you're in another country.
Yeah.
Because the scheduling app will figure it out, what time it is for you in your time zone. So when I was a guest on a podcast that was Vince Warnock, and he's in New Zealand, I knew that it was going to be at 7:00 p.m. my time. I don't know what time it was where he was. It didn't matter. What mattered to me was that I showed up at the right time.
Right. Yeah. And that's the other advantage is you're working in your respective time zones, because we do get guests that are in all kinds of time zones, from, as far east as New Zealand and as far west as Israel. So they need to know what time 5:00 in the afternoon on Wednesday in Bernalillo, New Mexico is for them.
That's right.
And the app tells them that.
That's right. We hope that you will take this opportunity to sign up for our email list to get weekly personalized updates, helpful information, and other things that Toby covered up while I was reading it. Helpful information and links for shows, behind the scenes photos, free offers for training and books, and digital marketing news and insights, please go to news.agkmedia.studio and sign up there. And if you, where did our crawl go?
I turned it on. Oh,
What?
did you?
Boy, right in the middle of me talking,
sorry.
I just make all these changes. If you're interested in seeing all of our content in one place, you can go to livecast.life. If you'd like to call or text or leave a voice message, that's 1-505-750-2744. You can write to us at support@messagesandmethods.com. And you can get our Livecast Life book at book.livecast.life. Or if you prefer, you can get our free guide, Livecast Life Workbook, at guide.livecast.life. And we will have all of those links for you also in the description box.
Let's see. Can I turn off the banner?
Now I'm done.
Okay. All right.
That's all we have for today on scheduling apps and specifically TidyCal. If you have any questions, you would like more information, please reach out to us at any one of those contact points, or you can schedule with us at calendar.agkmedia.studio and we can have a conversation about your vision for your business.
And how some of these products, over the past several weeks and for the next several weeks, short of a couple of interviews that we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about the products that we use to make our lives easier, our business lives easier. And we think we should share that with you. So if there's something that you're interested in at least talking about, we can find you that product and we can talk about it. We've pretty much used everything possible, including our streaming products, our podcasting products, our blogging products, and all of these tools that we use to keep us straight and narrow when it comes to the business. So feel free to call us. We'll be happy to talk with you. So, as a matter of fact, we had a conversation yesterday with a friend who's
trying to set up live streaming for his
for events
club group.
Right. And he never had that experience before. I mean, he knows how to live stream, but he's never set it up for having his club group have an event. So we gave him an hour of time. We told him what we did and how we did it. And I thought he found it very useful.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. That's all we have for today. We will be back again next Wednesday. And if you're interested in our show News and Views, come back at 7 p.m. tonight.
We look forward to the conversation. Take care.
Thank you for joining Messages and Methods Livecast Live 2.0, hosted by Shelley, Carney, and Toby Younis. Please subscribe and leave a comment or question, and we'll consider your ideas for future shows. Share this podcast with your family and friends so they can learn about current digital marketing practices too. Check the show notes for links and resources, and please come back again next week.